All right, good. Okay, so it's recording. So welcome everybody to week 1 of TRC 2.1 and our 13th week for 2.0. It's been a longer journey with them because there have been some delays in some of the partner build out pieces, which you guys won't experience because everything will be ready for you once you all get into the partnering side of it. Let me just do a quick, I'm going to share my screen real fast and just do a quick review. Where are you? So here's what went up. I'm inside the member site right now, and here's what went up today for those of you who haven't had a chance to see it. The welcome stuff has all been there for a few days now, so you've probably got a chance to see all of that. Week 1 is the big picture overview, which is very important because it gives you clarity about the strategy and about what to expect moving forward, how things work, the integration, stuff like that. And then charity partnering is your work for this week. It's the primary thing you need to get going immediately because the charity is an integral part of the entire program. So you need to get started picking a charity, and we walk you through how to do all that. In the bonus sections, there's the marketing KPI tracking worksheet, which is really neat. If you're not good with or haven't spent time with your numbers, your business numbers, this will help you a great deal. So highly encourage you to watch that. And the big news, which I shared in the video, is that my wife, Camelia, who's really just as sharp as they come when it comes to building out tools to support the business side of your business, particularly in the numbers, she is building out a really nice Excel spreadsheet that works with this. She just took these worksheets and built them into a spreadsheet and put all the formulas in there. So it makes it very easy. You just enter the data and it automatically calculates for you. So that'll be ready sometime soon, within the next few weeks, I would imagine, and we'll give you guys that as a sort of an additional bonus, which is very valuable. The tax day campaign is loaded up, and that's another genius campaign from Aaron. He just does tremendous work on these things, and I'll let Aaron talk about it a little. Well, he did in the video. And Aaron, is there anything you want to mention about that while we're just doing a quick overview?
No, just trust it. Just don't be afraid of it. We've in the past we've had our skeptics, and for example, we had a guy who said his phone has never rang once in the history of him being in business. Can you believe that? And he just a small place, but his phone rang and he signed up. 5 people, I think. He just has a small place, but the point was is his gym phone had never rang once, and it started ringing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know that story and the guy Aaron's referring to, and it was funny because he made this post. We had a group he was one of the guys who came to Houston and attended the Master Your Business event down in Houston last year, and real nice guy.
Get your credit card out. Let's do this.
He made a post. He made a post in the group. Hey, Justin.
Yourself and share yourself.
He made a post saying, Aaron just sent me over this campaign, and I read it over, and I was like, what the heck? This thing is terrible. There's not a chance in hell. But he ran with it, and it pulled for him. It pulled great for him. So as Aaron says, trust it. And then finally, in the resources section, which we're going to build out even more as we move forward, just some recommended resources for you that are very helpful that we use in the business or we recommend, and some very helpful tools and services and things like that. So if you have a suggestion of something that we should add to that, please let us know. All right, so that's it for the TRC 2.1 update and housekeeping and whatnot. So good. Keith's here too. All right, so we do have some, and Wayne's here. So we got some 2.0 folks as well. I'm not going to do the 2.0 update. You guys have probably seen, but so I'm not going to go over that right now. So let's just do this. we got a decent number of folks on the call, so I'm not gonna go around the room. I'm just gonna ask if anybody wants to start it off. Any questions that come to mind, anything pressing, or that you're curious about, or you just have issues with, or whatever. Anything you got, let us know and we'll address it. Anybody got anything?
I've actually got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
The Facebook videos that you posted by Alicia.
Yeah.
Do you know, are those the ones that I'm in her Facebook group that's got 8,000 members or whatever now. It's been amazing to watch. But are those the same ones that the tutorials that she did, or is this something new? Or
those are the same ones.
I've actually watched through all of those, taken tons of notes. I mean, I'll probably watch them again, but I just didn't know if it was something I needed to jump on immediately or whatever. I mean, it's really cool though. It's very good videos, by the way.
They really are. And that, you guys, in the 2.1 group, that's for the partner side. We're going to be doing a community Facebook group. Each of you will do. And we're leveraging Alicia's tutorials because she did such a great job on that. Alicia's a good friend of mine and Camillea's. And she's got some great tutorials. So if you guys are not members of her group, which is free, I suggest you join it. There's a lot of good content there. Just don't let it distract you from the referral challenge. But yeah, Keith, it's the same stuff, really good stuff, and we're going to build out an SOP around it as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another question for the resources center in the membership site, because I saw there was a lot of things listed. Do you go over kind of like when those actually apply to what we're doing, or is it just kind of there just to have?
I really didn't do that, and not all of them will necessarily apply to the referral challenge. They're just things that we use in the business that we like.
Okay.
Some of them will, though, Adrian. Like, for instance, do you have I mean, imagine you do. Are you using a good email marketing service? Who do you use?
We use FitPro newsletter. That's done through Fit Body Bootcamp. That's who we use.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, that's fine then. So that's fine. But so there's a lot of resources in there, but just take a look and see if it's something that you feel would be helpful to you. Great. And if you have specific questions about any of them, let us know and we'll.
Okay. As far as because there's two of them that are automated direct mail. And actually, that's something that I haven't actually gotten much into, surprisingly. I was wondering if the direct mail piece is used in any of the referral challenge, if we're sending anything out to people.
Yes, you'll see in the onboarding sequence, which is coming up in week 4, and also in almost all the campaigns, we present you with an offline component. So it's up to you whether you want to utilize that offline component. We recommend that you do, because multi-channel marketing has a greater impact, is more effective than single channel.
Right.
So yes, there are, in some of the campaigns, there are offline sequences that can be built into things like Amazing Mail or Click to Mail. And that's actually something we're going to look into going forward, is building those out, and you just access them, building out a library in one of those resources. But that's a little bit further afield.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for letting me know about that.
Yeah. Thanks for your question.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a question or anything?
I have one, Eric.
Yeah, Rick.
It's not really about the program so far. I've been kind of digging in what I've had access to, and obviously it's going to be good. I'm wondering, because like I just mentioned before, I'm going to have my administrative assistant on this too, on these calls and everything. Is it possible to give her access to the group so she can go review things we've had in the past, or should I just let her go in through my Facebook page?
When you say give her access to the group, do you mean to the Facebook group? Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question, and thank you for bringing it up, because all of you, if you have admins that you want, a business partner that you want to have access to the group, most definitely we will accommodate you. All you need to do is, Rick, you know how the group works. In the top right-hand corner, it says add member. If you just put your admin or admins' names in there and pull them up, we'll see. But then what we need you to do is either private message me or just shoot us an email and say, hey, this is so-and-so's name. She's my admin. That way we don't have to try and figure out.
Right, exactly. Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. I figured that, but I thought I should ask first.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, and we encourage everybody to do that because that's the way to do it. And Rick knows he's a veteran of the business, as many of you guys are, but I think Rick is like Aaron and me. He's a serious veteran. Been around for a while. Delegate whenever possible. Delegate. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. This is going to be her job, not mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go through it obviously because I need to know what she's working on and be as well versed in it as her. But ultimately, I want her running with this.
Yeah, that's great, and that's smart. And Randy Hart's made a really good comment a few months ago about that very same thing. And what his process is, he reviews the content so he knows what's there, and then he makes he delegates it to whomever the specific person is that needs to implement it. And if you just have one person, that's fine, but at least you need to familiarize yourself with the stuff first of all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should know the systems that we're applying, but let somebody else run with them, and that be their responsibility, be their baby, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, very smart. Very smart. All right, good. Anybody else? Chris, you got anything for us? Any questions? Any issues?
No, man, I'm good.
You're good. Vern, how about you?
I have no questions at this point.
All right, great. I know it is early on, and that's fine. So I don't, didn't anticipate any too much in terms of questions, but just want to make sure you guys know that there are no bad questions, as your old teachers used to say, and the more you interact with us and the more you engage, the better this will go for everybody. John, you got any questions? I can't see you, but I imagine you can hear us. All right. Wayne, how about you? Anything? Oh, sorry, I just muted you again.
Yeah, I muted it because you always have the feedback.
Yeah, thanks.
You still have it?
No, a tiny bit.
Okay. Well, I did realize we've been talking a lot about managing. I know Eric doesn't like the term time management, but managing how, what would you call it, Eric? Managing how you do your task?
Managing your energy.
Right. Yeah. I realize one of the things I need to do is plan a time to plan, because if I don't plan the time to plan, then I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just throwing stuff down on a list, but you actually have to plan a time to plan, because there's stuff to do in a day, then there's stuff that you need to do in a week and stuff in a month. So it's still a work in progress.
No doubt. That goes to the whole, Abraham Lincoln story about, I'm going to mute you now. I got the whole Abraham Lincoln story about preparing to chop down that tree. You got a day to do it, you spend half the day at least sharpening that axe. And that's what the planning is. It's sharpening the axe. So you're absolutely right. Planning is such a huge piece. I'm not particularly good at it because I'm just like, I want to get in and get going. Camellia reins me in and works with me on that. And it's huge, hugely important and valuable. Martin, how about you, brother? Anything? Any questions?
No, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to check in and see what was what happens here.
All right, very good, very good. Well, we're glad to have you on the call.
Yeah, I guess actually I've got one question. Are there any other Brits?
Are there any other Brits?
Well, since Ben Davis isn't here, I don't know.
Yeah, do you know Ben? Do you know Ben Davis?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Ben's in the UK. He's other than you. There might be, Martin. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody, but there might be. I know we got in the UK. I mean, in Australia, but I'm not sure about other Brits.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking forward to having a go. I'm looking at some of the copy and stuff that's coming through, and I might come back to you. Some of it feels American, and then there might be work that we'll have to do here to adapt it slightly. But I think if I do that, I'd like to run things by you, you and Aaron.
Absolutely. Feel free to do that. And let me tell you something. You bring up a great point. One of the best, I've been doing this now for a long time, and one of the best guys who's in our group, but one of the best guys I've known in my history working in the fitness industry in terms of taking tools that we provide done for you and customizing them for his own purposes is Tony Maslin. And when he was with us at MPE, he did that better than anybody else, and that's why he got the best results of just about anybody. So your question brings up a great point, which is that everybody look at the tools, and if you feel they need to be customized to some degree, then you should do that. Now, you don't want to change them radically because, as Aaron said, you need to trust the camera.
Absolutely. I buy into that.
Yeah. But do it in terms of vernacular things like that. Colloquialisms, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Martin, I'll jump in. I have worked with some of the guys in the UK before, and I always leave that disclaimer that I'm American, and not only that, I'm Southern American, right? And so you absolutely need to take what I deliver and make it more. If a colloquialism is off, if a phrase is off, you need to make those adjustments. For sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Justin, how about you? You got anything for us? Any questions, any issues?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, good. No, I just, at this point, I haven't been able to delve into anything this morning. So I just wanted to see what was going on today, and then I'll have the rest of the day to get involved.
Perfect. Okay, good. And keep in mind, guys, we have another call on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll, by that point, you'll probably have had a chance to get in and do some stuff. And I encourage you to try and stay on top of the workflow, because there's a lot of it, and it's not. But we've made it much more consumable and actionable this time around than we did the last time. Last time we put too much out in the first week, and a lot of folks got overwhelmed. So the most important thing this week is that you understand the big picture, and that you start working on your charity, on deciding who you want to partner with. And we provide you with a survey that you can send out to your members, your clients, and get their feedback on local charities to partner with, which is always good because you want to get them invested in the process, emotionally invested in the process. That's for. And then, of course, the tax day campaign that Aaron provided. Remember that if you're going to use that, you got a hard deadline on that. And Aaron, what's the lead time? We got about a week.
Right. What's the date today? It's the 17th. So you'll send out your first email on the 10th. So a couple weeks, right?
Okay. Yeah, good.
But listen, along those lines, if you haven't yet seen the video, let me just say this: you really do need to have your staff, your phones well staffed. If it works like it's worked in the past, I mean, one company that I worked with had literally 7 calls in an 8-hour period, right? Another signed up 62 clients, right? And there's no Facebook, there's no landing pages. This is the only call to action is to make a dang phone call. And so do be beefed up and ready to receive those calls, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And get them on and off quickly, just lock them down. But I mean, a phone call, short of in person, phone call is the best way. I mean, Rick will tell you, from what I hear, Rick, you're a master on the phone. So that's a great way to lock down clients. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called personal training for a reason, guys. So let's be personal with everybody. That's what it's about. I mean, your personality is always going to come through talking to somebody on the phone. I mean, that's the goal, is to get them on the phone. So you want to make sure everybody handling your phones are good at talking to people and creating that connection with your prospects and your clients.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Wayne, I see your question. Sorry, which part was Aaron just talking about? Wayne, was that about the campaign?
Yeah, the campaign. Which campaign was that?
Oh, that's the tax day campaign, and that's in the 2.1 section, which you have access to. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't reviewed that yet. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, I'm just reading some of the comments here.
So while Eric's doing that, look, for you original guys that are in the first batch, do make sure that you jump over to get that tax day campaign in the other version, because that's not only going to pay for your involvement with the TRC and Eric and I. If done right, it's going to be a windfall for you. It can set the rest of your year, depending on a few variables like size of your list and how well you can convert a temporary client into a full-time client. But when you have 62 new clients show up and start paying, that's a game changer, right? So make sure you get over there and get on it.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, got a question here I want to address with everybody, which is it's a good one. It says, we're currently using Causley Sweat Angels and have seen a significant increase in our daily check-ins. I know it's not local, but would you suggest we do both? So first of all, the Sweat Angels program, which I've heard really great things about, and that's the whole reason we created the Facebook check-in SOP and tools for this, so that you could take advantage of Facebook check-ins without having to pay for the service that Causley provides, which is very good. Again, and that's the reason we kind of knocked it off, is because it is so good, so effective. So the question has to do with charity, because Causley uses multiple charities. They're almost, from what I've seen at least, mostly international type charities, which personally doesn't appeal to me, and that's another reason why we made a change to that. However, you can certainly use the national charity. That's fine. So if you've got Causley if you've got Sweat Angels running and you're happy with it, we're not encouraging you to necessarily switch from them. You have to make that decision. From what I can see, the only benefit that Causley provides to you is that dashboard. That's because everything else we give you. And I don't frankly even know. I'd like to find out more about how accurate that dashboard is, because I've read how Causley tracks their check-ins, and we tried doing it that way and it didn't work well. So I wonder about how accurate it is. The other issue is you're giving money to Causley, you're paying them, and then they're making the donation to charity. So you get no real benefit other than saying, hey, we're raising money for charity. You can't, there's nothing that you can do tax-wise, and I'm not saying that you can benefit tax-wise. We're not allowed to say that, but you might be able to. And you also don't have the benefit of being able to take a check to a local charity, get a picture, put out a press release around that. Local provides so many additional benefits. But just to answer your question directly, if you're happy with Causley, stick with Causley. Use whatever charity you want that they're affiliated with. Hope that helps. If not, ask a follow-up. All right. Good. I don't see. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Any questions? Nope. We're all good.
I have one actually.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just because I read a lot and I've read multiple times about it, and I wanted to get your take on it. Actually, I'm considering doing a monthly print newsletter for current members. Is there any? Because apparently a lot of people who do it say it's really good for their members. What's your take on that?
I think Aaron and I I'll let Aaron give you his 2 cents, but at NPE, was one, a major tool that we provided to everybody is a done for you, and done for you has its benefits, but in terms of a newsletter, I think number one, it's a great idea. I would encourage everybody to do it. It's a fantastic relationship building tool. The problem that I see with most of them is that they are too cookie cutter, just generic content. There's no story component to them. There's no real relationship building. It's like fitness tips and things like that, which, they get tips out the wazoo. If you're going to spend the time to put out and the expense of putting out a newsletter, it should be story-based, heavy emotional relationship building. It should be about you, why you're in business, stories about your clients, things that you learn as you go, talk about your dogs and your kids and your hobbies and things like that are, inspirational, motivational. It's not just all about you, but it's story-based. So the quick answer is I think it's a great idea and you should absolutely do it. Most people won't, though. Aaron, you want to add anything?
Ooh, that was preaching, man. Right on. And so it is about the story of the relationship with a little blurb. Oh, and by the way, we have, a special workout coming up on XYZ Day, right? And so the newsletter is more along a relationship letter. If you forget the news part of it and make it relationship and just change the name and change the frame, it's a relationship. And you'll be, yes, absolutely do it. Just do it like Eric said.
Can I add something to that, guys?
Yeah, please, Rick.
It needs to be about your personality, who you are, so you're attracting the right kind of clients and prospects for you. I mean, let's say, Eric and Aaron are phenomenal copywriters, but if I tweak exactly what they wrote and didn't massage something with my personality, it's not going to resonate to the right type of people for me. So that's where this whole storytelling and everything comes in. It has to be your personality shining through. Otherwise, any newsletter is not going to work. That's why the cookie cutter things, the Fit Pro business letter and all that are dying down, because consumers are smarter nowadays and they want to know who they're working with, not what they know.
Yeah. Great points. If you think in terms of values, that's a great thing to do. If you hopefully all of you have a list of your core values and your personal core values, your business core values, and you just start crafting stories around those, why you came to, why this is an important value to you. That's a great starting point. And also there's always a lesson every time you interact with a client or a prospect or anybody out on the street. I see Rick do this all the time in your Facebook posts, and you tell great little stories about just your daily interactions with people. That is compelling stuff, and it illuminates your personality for people, and that attracts them to you. It's like a magnet. Yeah, so great question. Thank you for asking it, Adrian, and I encourage you to absolutely to pursue it. But pursue it with passion, not as just another tactic.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Wayne. Yeah.
You mentioned last week on our call that you attracted a certain kind of people to this group because of the copyright that you did in the sales letters and the emails, and that's probably along the same lines as talking about with the newsletters, attracting the kind of people that would be attracted to you to begin with.
No doubt. And that you'll see there's big chunks of copy in the referral challenge sales letter that are value based. And then the whole theme throughout is just this honest approach to creating customers through relationship. And so, yeah, it does. It resonates with the type of people that Aaron and I want to work with, which is you guys.
Yeah, let me jump in and comment on Rick's insight that it needs to sound like it's coming from you. That's largely true, but just to have a friendly crossing of swords with Rick on that, I can tell you now that the first time Eric wrote icing on the cake, that didn't sound like me. In fact, I threw up every possible objection under the sun, right? I was like, there is no way I am sending this out. I had my arguments and didn't follow the instructions. I did not put my picture on that thing holding a cake with icing on it. I just sent out the letter in rebellion. But when my phone rang off the hook, and it literally took me from a $17,000 month to $47,000 in 30 days. Our next, we moved it over to our second facility down the street, $86,000. Moved it to a third facility, $103,000 in a month. 47, 86, 103. Hey, I didn't care that it didn't sound like me. I cared that the phone rang, and I went to learning this craft. So if I can just leave this commentary with this,
I agree with that.
It may not feel like it's you. Maybe it doesn't need to be you. Maybe you need to be it. And that's what I've tried to become, is what my customer needs to hear from me not what I want to preach. And that is so critical. Don't write how you want to write. Write how your customers want to receive, and you'll change your life. Eric changed mine in that way for sure.
And that's great input right there. I'll have to agree with that. There's no argument for that.
Yeah.
Aaron, I have a question for you.
Well, Adrian, hold just real quick before, and I appreciate it. I just want to make one comment on that because it's a really good discussion, and I think it needs a little bit more clarification, which I'd like to give, and that is that the icing the cake went out to a cold audience, people with whom Aaron had no pre-existing relationship. So therefore, they didn't know his voice, and that the voice in that letter represented him, and it resonated with them, and it attracted these people in, and it worked. It worked really well. But as people begin to get to know you more, your voice needs to remain consistent, and so you don't want to necessarily be mimicking. And that, so what we're talking about here is the distinction between external marketing and internal marketing. And as your internal marketing, the marketing that you do to your existing clientele, that needs to have a consistent voice to it. If the voice changes with your external, it's not a big deal because it's going out to cold people who don't know you anyway. So food for thought there for you guys.
I agree with that too.
That kind of brought the two of them together, what Aaron and I were both saying right there.
Yeah.
That kind of molded together. And I agree with what Aaron said, when marketing campaigns, I agree with that. But then again, like Eric just said, when it comes to the people that are already following you, they're following you for a reason. So keep your newsletter, your emails to them in your personality.
Yeah. That's
I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And see, this is what we're talking about here. This is the trickiest part of marketing. It really is. And that's why, Aaron and I are here to help you with that. But as we've talked about, you guys need to review stuff, make sure that it is compatible with your voice, particularly the internal stuff. External stuff, and when I say external, it's not just cold audience, but prospects also. So people on your list who are unconverted, they're somewhat internal, but you could also say they're cold because they don't really know you that well at this point. Again, the messaging is not as big a deal. So it's nuanced, it's tricky, but we're here to help and support you with all that. So, all right, Adrian, go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah. So obviously, well, I don't know about the rest of the group, but I'm pretty young, so I try and learn a lot. But one of the things I want to learn about more is copywriting and really getting into the art of writing sales letters. I know it's a little bit outside of the scope of what we do here, but I didn't know if you guys had any good sources to recommend to me as far as books or anything like that, so I can learn more about how to speak or how to write compellingly and how to write so that actually emotionally gets somebody, because I don't know if I can really do that well yet.
Yeah, it's a hard-won skill. Like most of the really valuable skills, it takes a lot of practice. What I would say to you, first of all, is review everything you see that has Aaron's name associated with it. Study that stuff. And my stuff too. I'm not being disingenuous. I mean, my stuff too, absolutely. But that's really one of the best things you can do is review good copy and try and analyze it and think through, why are they saying these things here? And if you want a guidebook, a very simple one that's a great starting point is Dan Kennedy's Ultimate Sales Letter. It's relatively basic, it's fundamental stuff, but that's what you need. You got to start with the fundamentals. There's a ton of other resources out there, but that's a good starting point. What do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would just, there's a lot to say, all right? But ultimately, Dan, here's my story. Eric changed my life with this copy. Well, that put the bug in me. Well, Eric didn't offer a copywriting course at the time, which left me trying to find the very thing that where you are right now, Adrian, just trying to find out what where I went. So I went down. I've got it all. I've got John Carlton's kick-ass copywriting program. He's got an updated simple writing system. So check out John Carlton if you want. Then there's Clayton Makepeace, who became my great love. Operates in both the financial and the health industry. But there's so many, right? But Eric and I have really considered creating
Sorry, Aaron, hold on. I got to mute some. Somebody's got some serious background noise, like a train. Can't find my controls. Oh, here we go.
What if it's me?
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, that shut it off. Sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
But Eric and I, there is no, as far as I know, none that I've ever seen, a copywriting specific course for the fitness industry, right? And so he and I we're still debating whether or not there's even enough of an audience to justify the exorbitant amount of time that it would take to put this product together and to do it right. But all that said, if you're following Dan Kennedy and you're John Carlton, Clayton Makepeace, you'll wrap your head really around a lot of great concepts that then need to be nuanced for the industry. And but it's like Eric said, this is a craft. This is a learned skill. And it took me, my early copywriting efforts were abysmal. And so you'll have those. You're going to be in a growth period where you're going to try and you're going to have things that just don't feel right and they fail. I go back and look at things I've written in the past and go, oh my God, I'd never write it like that now. So you're going to start from somewhere and you're going to grow and you'll be growing from now on. But listen, if you want one of the greatest fitness industry copywriting pieces right now, read the TRC letter. Eric struck gold with that thing. I printed it. I walked around my house laughing because I saw how great this thing was, the persuasion, the way he had off all kinds of objections before you could even bring it up, and just beautiful.
I'll agree with that. Matter of fact, Pat Rigsby even posted about how great a letter it is and how it was a perfect example of great copywriting.
Yeah, thank you. And I put a ton of time into that thing. It's a ton of work, but it gives you incredible leverage, and so it's absolutely worthwhile doing that kind of work. So I encourage all of you guys to try and learn some things about copywriting, and but part of the reason you're with us is to get the benefit of our expertise in that regard, but still learn a few things about it. And I will mention this too. I would encourage anybody who's interested in learning something like that is to start with books rather than courses. You don't need to go out and invest $1,000 in a course. Buy a couple $15 books. There's some great ones out there. John Caples is you need to read the Robert Collier letter book, and you also should be reading stuff on persuasion. So the foundational resource on that is Cialdini's Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. You got to read that, because if you don't understand persuasion, it doesn't. I mean, your copy formatting might be right, but you're not going to be persuasive, and therefore it'll be difficult to get the sale. Wayne, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things I've done is try to subscribe to things that I get emails from, and to see what attracts me. Like Grant Cardone. I don't know if anybody gets emails from Grant Cardone. He does things almost daily, but a lot of it is like what people like that put in their subject line that first draws you in to read it. And then the story they lead, whatever it is they're doing to write, that leads you down a path that makes you want to click at the end of it to go see what the next thing is. And it's really interesting. There's another one called, I clicked off of it. I unsubscribed because I got tired of getting them all the time. There's another one called Survival Life. Their subject lines were always really, really catchy. a lot of it would start with a story, then they would offer something free, and then they lead you down that path. And it's really interesting to see what attracted me, and then how can I write something that would attract somebody else. But I think those subject lines in an email is really a key thing to get somebody to open it, especially when it comes to emails.
No doubt, no doubt. And the guy behind Survival Life it's Perry Belcher and what's his name? Aaron, help me out. The guys behind the lab, not Infoproduct Lab. Anyway, everybody knows this. I can't think of it.
Ryan Dice.
Who?
Ryan Dice.
Ryan Dice. Yeah, thank you. Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher. So what they're doing is, and you're absolutely right. Your points are dead on. Subject line is key. It's like the headline of a sales letter. But what these guys have the benefit of doing, when when you're doing whatever they're doing, $20 million a year in revenue, they can test like crazy. And they split test the hell out of those subject lines, and so they dial it in, and it's beautiful. So those are really good resources, and Grant Cardone is another one, very good resource.
So let me jump in. I feel I need to throw out a couple of disclaimers on this. That when you guys finally get into the storytelling segment, what I've put together, that's just how to tell a story. That isn't how to do copywriting. Right, and that's different, right? Which is even different than the email that I sent you for the tax day campaign. There is not a lot of storytelling in that tax day campaign, and there's not a lot of great sales copy in that campaign. That campaign is differentiated because you've got a dead audience that's turned a deaf ear to all your persuasion already. Now we're just coming out and hitting them in the head with a low ball offer. If we're going to revive that group, we're going to revive them only by way of a curiosity-driven headline, Wayne, right? And then here's the 75% off, right? And if they won't respond to that, they're not going to respond to any other persuasion because they've grown cold to that, all right? So you've got several different nuances when it comes to writing. You got storytelling, you've got copywriting for persuasion, and then you've just got a low ball offer. And while they all fall under the umbrella of persuasive writing, there are those segmental differences. And I just felt I needed to say so.
Yeah, good point. And that's why, Dan Kennedy and his magnetic marketing, which he sold a gazillion copies of, and I was one of the guys who bought it way back in the day. It's just a fantastic program. One of the things he talks about is the Italian restaurant. I forget the name of it, but the creation of an irresistible offer. And then Mark Joyner came out with a book called The Irresistible Offer, which is very good. So I suggested reading. Creating offers is fundamental to marketing, and and that's what Aaron is talking about here is a really great offer. And if that doesn't get them off the, if that doesn't get them taking action, then as you just mentioned, nothing else will. Yeah, I see Dave D. Yeah, Dave. Wayne made the comment. Dave D. writes good emails too. He does. Dave's a good marketer. He used to be a magician. So a couple questions about the icing the cake. I just want to mention. I don't know that icing the cake is still available. When I sold all my when I sold NPE, I sold the intellectual property along with that, and so I can't put out icing the cake anymore, even though I wrote it. And so that's the only way to get it that I'm aware of is through NPE. But I'm not even sure you can get it unless you pay their outrageous fees now. So but icing the cake is just one of many great tools. It certainly it was probably the best direct mail letter. It is the best direct mail letter, but it's not something that you have to have. So I don't get hung up on it. We just like telling stories about it because it was life-changing for both Aaron and me. All right. Any other questions, follow-ups to that? Anything? No? All right. Okay, somebody say. I just laughed. Yeah. NPE, there's so much history there, and it's just funny. All All right. Well, then at this point, I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up. If nobody else has anything, we just want to say thank you all very much for being a part of the Referral Challenge. We're just very glad to have you here. And Aaron and I will work our butts off to make sure that you get tremendous value from this program. So just stay engaged with us. We really appreciate you showing up on the call, and have a wonderful weekend. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.